Einen wunderschönen Donnerstagabend. Hallöchen, wie geht es euch, ihr Lieben? Es ist Donnerstag und wir streamen wieder und das heißt, wir machen weiter mit This Bad We Made, denn das haben wir am Dienstag angefangen und sind schon bei 70%, weil es ein kurzes Spiel ist, was ich gut finde. Wir haben eben Hotel, dessen Namen ich vergessen habe, in den 50er Jahren ein bisschen rumgeschnüffelt und haben herausgefunden, dass es da ein paar Leute Geheimnisse haben. Wobei bis jetzt noch keins von den Geheimnissen wirklich dramatisch war, bis auf natürlich die Tatsache, dass wir mit einem Cliffhanger geendet haben. Nach 70% der Spielzeit haben wir tatsächlich auf eine Leiche gestoßen. Guten Abend, erkältet wie Hulle. Ach du liebe Scheiße. Du nimmst doch jede Krankheit mit, Mensch. Wie schlimm ist es denn? Bei mir ist alles gut, ja. Und ja, genau, jetzt machen wir weiter mit dieses Bett wie gemacht. Die Dame des Hauses hat mich gerade verlassen, also nicht für immer, sondern fürs Wochenende. So, kontinuieren Sie. Ja, stimmt, wir konnten Beth anflirten.
Please let there be someone around who can help.
Macht sie immer wieder dieses komische Hipster-Hobby LARP? So ungefähr, ja. Also ziemlich genau das sogar. Hector, what on earth happened? I was on the fifth floor and heard the elevator door ringing repeatedly, so I went to check it out. I found Hector's body between the elevator doors, lying in a pool of blood. I checked his pulse and couldn't feel anything. On his person were two pieces of paper, a letter from Bernard and a copy of Hector's life insurance policy. My head is swirling with questions. What does it all mean? How did this happen? Who could have done this to Hector? If this was in fact someone else's doing. Also da lege ich mich mal fest. Wahrscheinlich schon. So, wir schauen mal. Wir haben jetzt hier einen neuen Bereich, den wir... Oh. Neuen Bereich, den wir auftun können. Guck mal, folgen wir Blutspuren. Eine Eisbox. Kann da doch nichts haben.
Poor Paul. Lindsay's death really hit him hard. He hasn't been in the best headspace.
February 14, das war vor ein paar Tagen. Montreal is much bigger than I had expected. Big cities always make me feel lonely, and the feeling was only exacerbated this morning by the fact that everyone around me was speaking a language I could not understand. I bought an English-French dictionary at the train station, but I don't think I'll need it after all. English speakers seem more common in the downtown area, thank God. The hotel is nice. When I arrived, the whole staff was busy getting ready for some big event. It wasn't until I saw Marcella enter the lobby with a flower bouquet that I realized today's Valentine's Day. Hector and her were gone in a flash, and I was left feeling more alone than ever, wishing Lindsay was here with me. Helping Marcella out these past weeks has been a great distraction, but it still hurts so much every time I think about him. I had hoped the pain would have gone by now. I'd probably need a double dose of Miltone to sleep tonight. 15.
I
Februar.
just needed to pass the time while Marcella was away. That's why he was observing us.
Today I wanted to follow Marcella and Hector out of the hotel, but the sidewalks were so packed with people that I started having a panic attack. I tried taking a cab, and that's when I realized I was all out of money. It's been a while since Marcella's last payment, and the hotel room was more expensive than I had anticipated. I couldn't resort to selling the camera, so I decided to pawn my victory medal instead. It was hard letting it go after so many years, and yet it also felt strangely liberating. Maybe it's a sign I shouldn't be holding on to the past so much. To fight boredom until Marcella's and Hector's return, I started looking at the hotel staff. I heard Andrew and Beth at the reception desk discussing books and movies. They both seemed like nice people. I wish I'd found the courage to join their conversation. When you look at people all day and they never look back, you start feeling invisible. I noticed that Sophie, the maid in charge of cleaning the 5th floor, seems to share my interest for other people's lives. Maybe I should try talking to her. Okay.
Paul was hiding out, right here. Did he ever find the person who was sneaking out at night?
16. Februar. Who's sneaking out of their room every night? The question has been driving me crazy since my first night at the hotel, so tonight I decided to investigate. I found a hiding spot near the ice machine with a nice view of the whole corridor. My camera's at the ready, but there's been no movement for at least 3 hours and I'm fighting not to fall asleep. No need for Miltone tonight. I thought being a detective would be more exciting. Aha, als Detektiv hat sie ihn angeheuert. Maybe Marcella's right. Maybe it's time I let go of Mr. Spade. 17.
9:45? So Anne and Marcella met here this morning while I was busy cleaning room 504.
I woke around 9:30 a.m. and I realized I had fallen asleep sometime in the early morning. I was about to go back to my room. The guest from room 507 came to sit on one of the chairs close by. She's been there ever since and I don't dare leave my hiding spot in front of her. Marcella joined the guest from 507 around 9:45. Apparently she told Hector she didn't love him anymore, and he's now convinced she's been cheating on him. That explains why he assaulted me out of the blue yesterday evening and accused me of having an affair with his wife. The guest from 507, I've learned her name is Anne, has just said she might have an idea on how to solve their problem. I'm thinking of revealing myself, but I don't want to anger Marcella. The longer I wait, the more awkward it will be when I do come out. Maybe I should... Und dann... Blutfleck. Was haben wir hier?
Oh, so Paul's work with Marcella was to follow her around like a private investigator, to help her with research for her novel.
22. November ist jetzt 57, schon ein paar Monate her. Dear Paul, I'm sorry to hear that you are such a dire situation. You seem to possess a lot of useful skills and it's a shame employers cannot see past your medical history, but don't despair. I have been writing novels for almost 8 years now. My publisher takes most of the sales revenue, but I was still able to collect a substantial sum of money over the years. Now I would like to use that money to hire you. I'm getting tired of romance novels and I'm thinking of branching out into crime fiction. As a sort of research, I would like you to follow me around town and take notes of my comings and goings. I am aware this is a very unusual job, but considering you were able to track me down, I believe you'd make a great private detective. In addition to your salary, I would cover all work-related expenses and you would, of course, be the first to read the manuscript once it's finished. Sincerely, M.
Paul really got into his role.
So, letzten Monat, dear Paul, I hope spying on me is proving too exhausting. You've really inspired me so far and I've already have tons of ideas. The trench coats you bought were a nice touch. You look straight out of a film noir. I also noticed you started smoking. It's probably another way for you to get into character, but maybe that's pushing it a little bit too far. You know best, of course, but don't pick up drinking next. At this rate, I should be able to start writing in 2 or 3 weeks. Thanks again for your help.
He followed Marcella to Montreal even though she was done with her research.
Oh, Paul, why did you follow me to Montreal? As I already told you, I do not require your services anymore. I am starting to worry you are taking your role a bit too seriously. You're not a real detective, you have to let go. Wird natürlich auch nicht besser. Kann man hier was machen? Nee. Die Kamera. Na gut, da kann man nicht mehr machen mit. Ich habe gerade zu sehr an moderne Kameras gedacht, die halt dann so ein, ne? Kann man nichts machen, okay. Fine, und du?
I have to get the power back on.
Achso, okay. Nehmen wir die Power back on. Ich vermute doch mal hier auf der anderen Seite. Janitors.
It's too big. I guess I'll need something pointier.
No.
Think, Sophie, think. What can you use to open the fuse box?
Might need this to restore power.
I don't think there's anything here that would help me.
Was kann man denn da nehmen? Etwas Spitzeres als ein Schraubenzieher. Was weiß ich denn, was hier noch für ein Zeug rumlag? Bist du wenigstens krank zu Hause, also krankgeschrieben? Cool, wenn du schon die Rüsselpest hast. Hat irgendjemand ein Nagelset oder ein Nähset? Ja, vielleicht sowas, aber sowas habe ich eigentlich noch nicht gesehen.
This can wait.
Okay, das can wait. Was haben wir hier? Zahnbürste, oder? Okay. Tabletten. Ich habe ja irgendwie einen Nagelknipser im Bad gesehen, aber ich weiß nicht, Nagelknipser Der bringt sie auch nicht so. Ja, bin ich sehr gut. Okay, immerhin. Wäre ja noch schöner. Lippenstift. Aber es ist kein Coroni, weil es ja auch gerade wieder voll im Trend. Ah, ich muss mir eigentlich mal die 5. Impfe reindrücken. Die geile Impfsoße. Und da war noch gar nicht drin, oder? Nee. Aber definitiv noch nicht drin, wenn ich mir so umgucke. Bisher nicht, aber ja, Bruder und Schwägerin haben es auch gerade wieder. Eieiei. Eieiei, wie sieht's denn hier aus? Ordentlich Party gemaked. Eine Pinzette, das kann es auch sein. Kann ich aber nicht nehmen. Das ist ja ein Ding. Na gut, dann ist es die wohl nicht. Zahnbürste. Rasierklinge kann ich aber auch nicht nehmen. Grundgütiger. War ich ja schon mal? Das kommt mir nicht bekannt vor. Ne, jetzt ist aber ganz am Anfang gewesen sind. Im Rest der Story wahrscheinlich nichts zu tun hat.
Hello? Is anyone in? Hello? I need help. Hello? Is anyone in?
Okay, ich gucke jetzt einfach mal nach. Wie cool das jetzt ist mir egal. Okay.
Okay.
Ah,
This looks like something I can use to open the fuse box.
ja, fantastisch. Fusebox, achso, ja genau, das ist auf der anderen Seite.
The fuse box. Just get to the fuse box in the janitor's closet, Sophie. It's not far.
Ice Pick. Ach so, ist ein Ice Pick.
That worked, thank God. Now, to get the power back. Jean, what I would give to have you with me right now. Your note will have to make do.
If there's a power outage and I'm busy preventing another part of this hotel from collapsing, here's what to do. Check fuse box plan for required amperage of each socket. Remove all blown fuses from sockets. Tip: blown fuses are usually blackened. Screw in new fuses in sockets. Make sure amperage is correct. Flick big lever to restore power. Eugene.
How did this end up here?
Save combinations. Okay. So. Wir haben offenbar schon welche. Blackened, die hier? Ne, die nicht. Die? So. Woher weiß ich jetzt, welche die richtige für was ist?
How does Eugene do this again? Fuses. I probably need new fuses.
Okay, gucken wir mal. Hier liegt ja noch ein bisschen was rum. Ah, hier, P und G sind immer zusammen. Das ist schon mal gut. Und A und S sind immer zusammen. Na gut, das kriegen wir hin. Oder?
Nothing. Maybe I need to move some things around.
15. Okay, das ist zweimal das gleiche. Das heißt, das ist ja dann richtig, wenn die jeweils die gleiche Dings haben. 15 Amp ist fix. Okay, dann muss die dahin. Die A muss da oben rein. Und 3 Sekunden rechts. Sehr gut, das ist ja dann relativ einfach. Na also.
Power's back. Now, I should go down to the lobby. Call the police.
Is there anything I've forgotten? Once I leave this floor, I probably won't be able to come back.
Mir fällt aber nichts mehr ein eigentlich. Ich gehe jetzt mal runter. Wenn ich das kann. Das geht so gar nicht, oder? Muss ich die Treppen nehmen? Ah, hier, lief.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Phone. I need a phone.
Eine Rezeption wird es ja wohl eins geben, oder?
Beth? Where is everyone?
Montreal Police Service, Station 22.
There's a man dead. He's been murdered. I need the police.
Please stay calm, ma'am. Where are you right now?
The lobby. But the body, it's upstairs.
Can you give me the address, please?
Oh, 11. 1178 Drummond Street.
All right, ma'am. Officers are on their way.
Thank you.
Ja, cool.
Now, I just have to wait for the police.
Das Spiel so einfach wird es nicht sein.
Why does the VIP want to meet with Paul? Maybe he fell for his role-playing and wants to hire him as a private investigator.
To all reception staff, discard previous instructions. Our prestigious guest, richtig, haben wir noch irgendjemand im 6. Stock, had expressed the desire to meet the guest from room 505. I cannot fathom what such an illustrious man wants from such a freak, but if you see him, please direct him towards my office.
Bernard really wants Paul out of the hotel.
I've heard more reports on the guest from room 505 and his strange behavior, following people around, spying on guests, etc. As you all are aware, we have a very prestigious guest in room 602. I would hate for his stay at our distinguished establishment to be tarnished because of some other undesirable guests. Inform the guest in 505 that he must vacate his room as soon as possible. Invent an excuse if you have to. Also note that from now on, if our if you can pay, you can stay policy no longer applies. Guests who do not fit the hotel's new elevated standards should be denied a room. Thank you, etc., etc. Das kennen wir schon.
So Anne and Marcella really are planning to run off together. Was what happened to Hector part of their plan?
Oh, hey you. Great timing, right? I'm thinking if we're lucky, Bernard will let us go home. No point in working in the dark. Sophie? Bean, you're not scared of the dark, are you? Hey, is everything okay?
I found Mr. Cruz. Hector,
Oh, you did? What was the bloke up to?
you don't understand. I found his body. He's dead, but
Merde. Merde. Sit down, okay? You look like you're about to faint. Have you called the police?
yeah, they're on their way.
What happened? Was there an accident?
No, I don't think so. Someone did this to him.
You mean... Merde. Do you think it could have been Anne and Marcella?
Warum habe ich nur die Möglichkeit Ja oder Nein? Das ist ja wirklich eine Frage, die auch andere Optionen offen lässt. Keine Ahnung, wer es war. Also, ob es die beiden waren oder ob es Paul war, mir geht's ja eigentlich nicht. Ich sag mal no.
What about Paul?
Yeah.
He and Hector were caught fighting.
The cops will want to talk to you. Know what you've seen. You need to be careful about what you tell them. If word of Anne and Marcella's affair gets out, they may put a label on them that will really hurt them. It might not even matter in the end if they did it or not.
I think I know what you mean. It's easier to put the blame on people who are different from you, even if you're wrong.
I'm glad you can see that. It makes the world a little safer to have people like you in it. You know, I was barely 20 when I was shoved into a police car for just hanging out with people who made me feel like I wasn't so messed up after all.
What? Where did that happen?
At the White Cat. It's supposed to be a safe space, but it gets raided by cops every now and then. I know Anne was caught at least once, too.
Wait, you know her?
Yeah, that's how I knew the answer to the riddle. I've never talked to her, but I've seen her a few times. Marcella and her, they're just like me.
Thank you. Thank you for trusting me with this.
maybe now you can understand why I care so much about you. I don't know if I'm feeling inspired by Anne and Marcella, or if it's the shock of being so close to an actual murder, but, I'd really like for us to be more than just friends, Sophie.
Ein guter Zeitpunkt für sowas. Ja, bin ich voll dabei, sofern ich nicht im Knast lande.
Yeah. I'd like that too.
That's... That's great. The police is here. Just be mindful of what you tell them, okay?
Yeah.
Eigentlich kein Grund, irgendwas zu verheimlichen.
Of course.
Miss Roy? Miss Roy? Miss Roy!
Oh, sorry. I was distracted.
I really need you to focus right now. I don't want to be here all night, and I'm sure you don't either.
No. No, I don't.
So, as I was saying, we're trying to ascertain the circumstances of Mr. Cruz's death. Can you tell me how you came to find the body?
I was cleaning room 509 when I heard the elevator bell ring. Again and again and again. I thought maybe a child was playing with the doors. So I went out in the corridor, and that's when I saw him. All the blood and...
Why was the elevator bell ringing?
I'm sorry?
You said you heard the elevator bell ring. Why was it ringing? I assume it wasn't a child after all.
Mr. Cruz's body was blocking the doors. Warum lügen?
Well, Mr. Cruz's body was preventing the doors from closing.
Really? When we found the body, it wasn't that close to the doors.
Oh, the stairs are blocked because of the renovations, so the elevator's the only way out of the 5th floor. I had no choice but to move the body. Just a little.
Ah, so that explains the traces we found. Thank you for clearing that up. So, what did you do after that?
Well, that's when the power cut. So I had to go to the janitor's closet.
To access the fuse box.
Exactly. I changed a few fuses and turned the power back on.
But there's a lock on that box, isn't there? Did you have the key?
Nope. Used an ice pick.
No, I didn't. Only Eugene does. But I thought an ice pick might do the trick, so I went to the ice machine to get one.
You're a size 7, I suppose.
Yes, I am. Why?
What did you see when you went to the ice machine?
There was blood. A lot of it.
Did you touch anything?
Ja, natürlich. Ich bin nämlich voll durch die Pfütze gelatscht.
I might have touched a few things. Just to figure out what had happened to Mr. Cruz.
Of course you did. Why so many witnesses can't help but compromise the evidence is just beyond me. Anyway, what did you do after restoring the power?
I took the elevator down to the lobby. That's where I called the police.
Do you remember what you said to the operator? The exact words.
No, I'm afraid I don't.
You said, there's a man dead. He's been murdered.
That's possible.
What makes you so sure it was murder?
Das war nur eine Assumption. Da war eine Menge Blut. Kann man mal annehmen. Also das muss ich nicht sagen, dass ich rumgesnoopt habe.
I just assumed. What with all the blood?
I'm afraid I don't believe that, Miss Roy. It's more than an assumption, isn't it?
I'm not sure I understand what you...
I know you like going through your guests' personal belongings. We've found pictures of you snooping around.
Oh.
Now, unless you want me to arrest you for violating your guests' privacy, I suggest you tell me everything you know.
All right.
Let's start with the victim's wife, Marcella Cruz. Apparently, she left in quite a hurry this morning. What can you tell me about her?
Ja gut, ich meine, er ist ja offensichtlich nicht dumm, ne? Und er hat schon rausgefunden, dass wir rumschnüffeln. Dann weiß er auch, was wir gefunden haben und dann hat es keinen Sinn, ihm das nicht zu sagen.
She's having an affair, but it's not what you think. She's been in love with another woman since college. They've been apart for more than 10 years, and now they're...
Yes, I know all about Mrs. Cruz and Mrs. Beaumont's sexual deviance.
Siehst du?
Have you ever witnessed them engaging in immoral behavior?
What do you mean?
I'm asking if you've seen them being, you know, intimate.
Junge, willst du eine Beschreibung oder
I
was?
haven't... No.
And did you hear them discuss their deviant ways in front of Mrs. Beaumont's son, perhaps? Imagine what kind of effect such perversion can have on a young child.
No, I didn't hear anything.
Did you hear them express their hatred of men? Did they ever talk about using violence against men? Did you hear them speak ill of Mr. Cruz?
Wird Take Stand Deny? Wie wird? Sie haben doch nur schlecht über den Mann von Anne geredet, der ein Wichser war, aber nicht über Mr. Cruz.
No, I didn't hear any of that. I'm sorry I can't be of more help.
No, I'm sure you are. But we're not quite done yet, Miss Roy. We've learned from one of your colleagues that the victim had a fight with a guest named Mr. Spade. What can you tell me about him?
Paul spent some time at a psychiatric hospital.
He spent some time in a psychiatric hospital after the war. That's when he got into Mrs. Cruz's novels. And they really helped him.
Yes, I already know about his time in a madhouse. We called the place and they painted quite the picture of him. Did you ever see him display odd behavior in or around the hotel?
No. I mean, we've all got our little quirks, don't we?
Did he seem obsessed with Mrs. Cruz?
A little, maybe, but...
Obsessed enough to kill her husband?
No, nothing like that. We all have our obsessions. Me, for instance. I'm obsessed with celebrities and gossip magazines, and...
You don't seem to understand, Miss Roy. Mr. Spade is not like you and me. He may look like us, but he's not. He's dangerous and needs to be taken off the streets. So tell me, did you ever see him be violent or aggressive?
Nein.
No, I didn't.
I'm sorry, Miss Roy, but I just don't believe you. I think you know more than you've let on.
Can I please leave?
You can. But you'd better stay in town. I'm sure I'll have more questions for you very soon.
Bernard was strangely chipper on the phone. That can't be a good sign. I guess I'll know soon enough. Let's go see what Bernard wants.
Wahrscheinlich will er mich feuern. Was auch mal hier, After the Storm. 2 Tage Hotel geschlossen.
The atmosphere is so different in here. It'll probably be a while before the hotel reopens. Without Eugene, the lobby will be a swimming pool by the end of the month.
Achso, na,
Will the rest of the building even be standing?
müssen wir jetzt einen Besen besorgen oder was? Ah, da haben wir noch einen. So schnell kann niemand sonst einen Mob betätigen. Okay.
I have to clean the puddle by Bernard's office.
So, das haben wir im Gamepad.
Bernard's probably in his lair.
Ugh, go to hell.
Beth,
Hey,
are you okay?
I'm out of a job. But other than that, yeah, everything's just peachy.
What? No,
I hope you're luckier than I am. Come join me when he's done with you, all right? I'll be questioning my life choices on the mezzanine.
yeah. Yeah, okay.
Ah, Miss Roy. Come in. I suppose you know why you're here?
Actually, not really.
I'm not sure, actually. Your phone call was a bit vague.
Yes, well, I prefer to have this conversation in person. We've been getting a lot of press lately, and not the good kind. I wouldn't expect you to understand the position I'm in, but I assure you, it's quite uncomfortable. To have one's life's work blown away like that. All thanks to some sexual deviance and a nut job. It's obvious to me now that I haven't been firm enough. For guests of such morals to be comfortable booking a few nights here and committing such a horrid act? Things need to change. This means elevating our standards to the highest possible level, and it starts with the people working here. It starts with you.
With me?
Yes. From what I've heard, you've been quite the exemplary maid lately. Clean rooms, satisfied guests.
I take my job very seriously, sir.
As you should. I had planned to give this month's Employee of the Month title to Wendy, but since she's no longer with us, I'm thinking of giving it to you instead.
Really?
You should know it comes with the responsibility of being a glowing example for other staff members to follow. Is this something you believe you can do?
If it comes with a reward, yes.
Would it come with a reward?
I see you're a pragmatist. Yes, it would.
Okay. Then I'll do it.
Good. I expect you to be here on Monday, first thing in the morning. There's a lot of work to be done before the reopening. That'll be all.
Hey,
Hey.
what a week.
Yeah. So, what did Bernard want with you?
He offered me the Employee of the Month title.
Good for you, Bean! A shame I won't get to be there when you receive your reward.
I'm so sorry.
Hey, it's not your fault.
I know, but it's so unfair that I get rewarded while you lose your job.
Don't feel bad about it. You deserve it more than I do.
Did Bernard say why he was firing you?
Ugh. He was going on and on about keeping deviants out of the hotel, so I may have lost my cool a little.
A little?
I told him I was one of those deviants he was so afraid of. He froze for a moment, then showed me the door.
What's next for you?
So, what's next for you?
I think I'm done working under Bernard's or Linda's. Maybe it's time I become my own Bernard. Minus the fascism, of course. I could see myself owning my own establishment, one that caters to the right kind of crowd. Believe it or not, I do enjoy the company of people, just not, the stuck-up, entitled clientele of this prestigious hotel. But maybe if I were behind the counter of, say, a bar, instead of a reception desk. I don't know. Is that silly?
No, it's not. In fact, you'd be perfect for it. You're the most charming person I know.
Thank you. I'm really glad you're in my life.
Me too.
Na doch, komm. Grüßt euch, habt's euch verdient.
Can I, kiss me?
Yes. I thought you'd never ask.
Yay, happy end.
That was
gibt's ein Achievement. Unity Acolyte Kist. Aber wir können auch den anderen Typen. What do you think will happen to our guests?
What do you think will happen to them?
Who?
Sorry, my mind wanders sometimes. I meant Paul, Anne, and Marcella. Do you think they'll be released?
Yeah, I think so. Paul will probably become a famed photographer. His portrait of you will be hanged at the Louvre, entitled The Inconspicuous Maid. It will sell for millions.
Is that so?
Yeah, and Anne and Marcella will ride into the sunset on the back of 2 Appaloozas, watching over their newly acquired ranch. They'll be constantly followed by their only sheep. They'll call him Paul, for old time's sake.
I like that. I just want them to be happy.
Me too.
Three conspirators charged in Clarendon Hotel Murder Case. Gut, wir wissen ja auch nicht, wer ihn umgebracht hat. Also insofern... Lindsay, Franklin? Okay, ich weiß jetzt nicht, ob das das gute, das schlechte oder das mittelmäßige Ende war, ob es überhaupt solche Dinge gibt. Das können wir gleich nochmal nachschauen. Ich bin insofern zufrieden, weil wir sind ja gut rausgekommen. Und ich habe ja keine Ahnung, wer den ermordet hat. Ich habe nicht das Gefühl, dass ich es hätte rausfinden können. Die hätten alle 3 ein Motiv gehabt, das passt schon irgendwie. Oder zumindest wahlweise entweder der eine oder die anderen beiden. Aber was soll ich denn da? Also, ich weiß nicht. Das ist ein französisches Spiel. Wusste ich gar nicht. Ich sag mal, es war jetzt als Detektivgeschichte nicht so befriedigend wie hier Conway Disappearance at Dahlia View. Das war ja richtig cool. Aber das war jetzt, glaube ich, auch nicht das primäre Anliegen des Spiels, hatte ich so das Gefühl. Ach mal, hier. Das ist wieder der Beschleunigungstaste. Was finde ich ja gut. Was mich wieder noch an mein Cyberpunk-Debakel erinnert, wo ich 40 Minuten Abspann geschaut habe, weil ich die Beschleunigungstaste nicht gefunden habe. Okay, ich würde es gerne mal rausfinden. Da gucken wir doch mal. Endings, oder? The good ending. After opening the room 509 safe and reading the newspaper, we will have already removed all items from the roof. Be sure not to step in the blood here and traps footprints all over the place. With all of these done, Mr. Cruise's body was blocking the doors. I used an ice pick. No, nothing. Okay, das hilft mir nicht so richtig weiter. 9 verschiedene Enden gibt's wohl. The game features 9 ending variations. 6 of them depend on your detective skills and 3 on your mate skills. Since most of them can be unlocked together, it's possible to get all of them in one full and 2 partial playthroughs. Don't clean up the rooms. Detective skills. The real culprit. Thanks to your actions, the real culprit ended up in prison. Oder method acting. Thanks to your actions, Paul avoided prison. This is California. Thanks to your actions, Anne and Marcella avoided prison. Bye-bye, Bernard. With no deviants to blame for his failure, Bernard gave the helmet to his brother. Dead End and Gone. Thanks to your actions, no one was sent to prison and the police is at an impasse. This bed you made. You tampered with evidence, got caught and ended up in prison. Uiuiui. Hätte auch passieren können. Mate skills. A Sophie's choice. You chose to stand up to Bernard and quit, but now you have no money. Employee of the month, das Hammer. You got Wendy fired and were a good mate and Bernard remained manager. Moving up the ladder, you got Linda fired and were a good mate and Bernard remained manager. Ah, da werde ich Managerin, krass. Okay, jetzt habe ich nicht das Achievement gesehen, was ich gerade noch hatte. Wild. It wasn't Anne and Marcella. It's actually a real murderer, but it's pretty hard to find out. It's actually, Spoiler jetzt, ne? It's actually Samuel Williams who was staying in the first room we cleaned. It's a bit of a letdown because you don't really find stuff about him till the very end when you solve a puzzle to find out how to open the safe, where there's a gun and newspaper article about something like a huge fire. Okay. Ach krass, wenn wir dem jetzt nochmal in den Safe geschaut hätten, wo wir die Kombination im Sicherungskasten gefunden haben, dann hätten wir herausfinden können, dass er der Mörder war. Naja, gut. Ja, kann man machen. So, Leute. Es ist natürlich noch früh am Abend. Ich hätte ein paar Sachen hier machen können, aber ich sag's wie es ist. Heute wird mir hier nicht gerade so richtig die Tür eingerannt. Deswegen weiß ich ehrlich gesagt nicht, ob ich jetzt nicht einfach den Stream abbreche. Ja, ich weiß was, dann machen wir einen Sack zu für heute. Dann vielen Dank fürs dabei sein. Das war This Bad We Made, das war doch ganz schön. Und kann man auch deinstallieren. Es geht hier, wahrscheinlich gibt es hier am Samstag einen Sonderstream, weil ich jetzt so viel Zeug auf der Festplatte habe, weil ich jetzt die neue große Festplatte habe, dass ich am Samstag vielleicht dann wieder das Backlog angreife und einfach mal ein paar Spiele spiele, die ich wenig oder gar nicht gespielt habe. Da hätte ich ja Bock drauf, so jedes Spiel 20 Minuten reinschauen, dann mal gucken, was uns gefällt. Das könnten wir tun und dann würde ich sagen, sehen wir uns da wieder. Und bis dahin wünsche ich euch einen fantastischen Start ins Wochenende. Macht's gut, ihr Lieben. Und kommt gut rein. Wir sehen uns am Samstag. Ciao.